In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to use the CRAAP test to verify a source's reliability. CRAAP stands for currency, relevance, authority, accuracy, and purpose. And by evaluating each of these 5 things when you're looking for source material to include in a paper, you can get a pretty good sense of whether or not the source is appropriate for your research paper. So for currency, we're really looking for when the information was published or posted, and if it's an informational website, whether or not that information has been revised or updated. You want to make sure that the information is appropriate for your topic. So is it current? Is it something that needs to be current? Is the information out of date? And one way to look for that is to sort of make sure that the links on the page are functional. Out-of-date websites often have non-functional links. Relevance. This one's kind of easy. It's obvious, right? Like, does this topic of the article or website relate to what it is that you want to write about? But we're also talking here about who the intended audience is. I did once have a student who used a 5th grade website as a source for his college level research paper, which was not ideal because it was written by 5th graders. Is the information written at the appropriate level, right? That's another example of that as well. And have you looked at a variety of sources before choosing this one? Whenever you're looking for sources for a college level paper, you want to make sure that you're choosing the best possible sources that you can use, and that you're comfortable using them as a source in your paper, because the sources that you are using in your paper reflect your credibility and your sense of authority on your topic. Accuracy. This one again seems kind of obvious, right? But where does the information come from? You do want to think about, whether or not the information is supported by evidence. And here, one of the things you can look for is the references, which sometimes are in the form of links if it's an online source, or there might be in the source in the form of a list of references at the end of an article. Can you tell if this information has been reviewed by someone? Who decided that this was a good idea to publish this, right? Can you verify any of the information in another source? Does the language or tone seem biased and free from emotion? You want to look for those kinds of clues that can tell you if this source is going to be informative and accurate and really be that high quality source that you're looking for. Looking for grammar, spelling, and typographical errors is a good way to weed out not good sources, right? So any of those kind of little things can tell you that maybe this isn't a source that is appropriate for you to use. Purpose. This is a really important one. So you want to think about why this information was created and why it was published. Sometimes information is there to entertain us, sometimes it's to convince us of something, sometimes it's just to inform. And you can use this one sort of in conjunction with that idea of authority and thinking about who created this information and why they created it. Are they transparent about their intentions, or does it seem like they have some kind of hidden agenda? Is it based on facts? Is it opinion? Is it propaganda? All of those questions that you're asking as you're looking at the source can help you get a better sense of the purpose of the information itself. And does the point of view appear objective and impartial? Remember that bias is a thing. There are all kinds of biases that can crop up. It doesn't mean that a source is bad, but it does mean that you want to be careful about how you use that source. Currency, relevance, authority, accuracy, and purpose. CRAAP. And now a couple of tips and some troubleshooting. You want to skim articles to get a sense of whether or not they're good to save time. That's perfectly acceptable. You might end up having to hunt for some of these details, which is also totally normal. Look at the beginning and ending of articles for authors and dates. If you can't find an author or a date, you might not want to use that source. It probably is not high enough quality for you to use in your paper. Check out a website's About page if you're not sure what the purpose of the site is, and in general, try to review at least double the total amount of sources that you actually need to use. Do not grab those first 2 or 3 hits on Google. Dig a little bit deeper and do this kind of review so that you're really making sure you're using high quality information, which will in turn make your paper a better paper.